Hi, my name's Hannah Cole-Hunter, and this video is about Year 5 Statistics and Probability, specifically the topic of chance. This video is designed to provide instructional strategies that are effective and engaging for all learners, but are inclusive of learners with autism spectrum disorder, ASD. The specific content descriptors that are addressed in these strategies are listed here. In the Australian curriculum, it's not until Year 5 that students are asked to list outcomes of chance experiments and represent these as probabilities. Before this time, the focus is really on identifying events that involve chance and developing everyday language to describe and order these events. Therefore, it is important that a number of skills are required to help these students successfully translate their understanding of chance into probability. This video explores providing teaching demonstrations for the big ideas of probability, such as likelihood, numeric probability, and judgments. Students with ASD may particularly struggle with word problems, such as those commonly used in probability questions, due to their difficulty with comprehension, memory, organisation, and real-world reasoning. Therefore, it is imperative that ideas for classroom practice include exploring language and aligning this language to a visual numerical representation using a 0 to 1 number line, undertaking experiments to explore chance situations, using an array to record and unpack the relative frequency and sample space concepts, and employing problem-solving routines such as solve it to deconstruct word problems. Now let's take a closer look at each of these strategies. So exploring language, what I've done here is developed a list of language associated with probability and chance. I will then work with students to order these along a line. You can have fun with students exploring terms like for sure, slim chance, fat chance, Buckley's chance as well. And once you've sorted the language and you're happy with where they go along a line, you can then look at how you can represent these words mathematically by using fractions and percentages. Here it would be a good idea to use a simple example such as a coin toss, which has a 1 of 2 outcome, just to demonstrate the spectrum of probability. Another idea is undertaking experiments. So they can be used using either the humble cards or dice, or definitely a popular option is using chocolates to undertake meaningful activities and investigations and games. You can also discuss real-world events with students to make the concept of probability quite concrete. A very relevant example would be talking about reducing the probability of spreading the COVID-19 virus by undertaking social distancing. Arrays can be used to undertake a visual representation of data and communicate possible outcomes, which is useful for all learners, but particularly for ASD learners. Here I've undertaken an experiment using 2 cups filled with different coloured M&Ms. I've then created an array to outline all of the possible outcomes. You can then explore the probability of a certain event by looking at the number of successful outcomes divided by the number of possible outcomes. And this can be, using the array, it's really clear for students to find those outcomes. So, for example, the probability of drawing 2 reds is 2 out of 12 because there's 2 squares of 2 reds. The probability of a yellow and green is 1 out of 12, and a probability of a yellow and a yellow is 0 out of 12. Finally, using a problem-solving routine such as Solve It has been found to be effective in assisting ASD learners to solve mathematical word problems. This involves breaking down cognitive processes and relating metacognitive strategies so that students can really break down word problems and to ensure they understand what they're asking. So what assessment strategies can we use to assess and assist learning? The language exercise with the number line can be used as a pre-lesson activity to assess students' understanding of language and the probability scale. Students can undertake their own experiments in small groups as formative assessment, as well as students can undertake self-assessment and goal setting to deepen their understanding of fractions in this context. So in summary, successful ideas for teaching probability in Year 5 include matching language that they're already aware of to fractions, using visual representations of data such as arrays and tactile materials, making it fun with games and chocolate, as well as using methods for solving and breaking down word problems. I hope this video has been helpful and gives you some ideas for your teaching. Take care.